It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. A little bit earlier, we got you excited about our pets. We asked you what's that one thing that your dog makes you so happy about, and just about everyone jumped on board. Then when it comes to cats, we got to be a bit more selective because they are. Now, I love it when a cat gives you their love and attention, you really feel like you deserve it. But they're also prone to giving us some grey hairs by exploring. They are natural explorers, climbing, squeezing, disappearing, anything that their whiskers will let them get through, and discovering places we don't always get to see or know if they are protected. With all that adventuring comes some exposure to fleas, to ticks, to worms, all sorts of parasites, in fact, that we don't realize that they have picked up or even at risk of picking something up. So staying one step ahead as pet parents is essential, especially with exploring cats. And to help us unpack what really happens when our feline friends head outdoors and how to keep them safe and protected, we are joined by one of our favorites, veterinarian Dr. Stephen Smith, who's everywhere at the moment, but you're here. Luckily, not working on any animals or working on all animals.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Treated a snake yesterday.
Oh, there we go. Now that's proof. And to our kind of crew, you know us, that is the best validation that you can get. I love it. Well, hopefully snakes aren't the biggest risk that our cats will find out there if we are in urban spaces. But when we look at outdoor environments, what are the big risks? What are you always trying to mitigate?
Yeah, so I suppose the average cat, most of them are exposed to the outdoors, especially in South Africa, so they love to roam outside.
Like all of us, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, and most of them will just come into contact with the normal garden, the next door neighbour's garden. You know, they're always visiting somewhere else. And some of them are lucky enough to live next to a green belt or an open piece of felt, and so they will go hunting in there and exploring in there. And that's where they come into contact with things like ticks. Fleas are more in the garden, sometimes in your own home as well.
Unfortunately, yeah, we know these life cycles and there are seasons and there always seems to be an overlap just to kind of undo our best efforts. And I would imagine with the parasites, some are more easily treatable. Some can lead to quite dangerous kind of knock-on effects. What are you most worried about when we look at that spectrum of parasites? Who are the heavy hitters?
Yeah, so I suppose tick-borne diseases are probably our biggest problem. Now, they're not countrywide. Along the coastal regions, we find blood-borne parasites such as babesiosis or tick bite fever in cats, and that can actually lead to, they can be fatal, so destroy red blood cells. Fleas are one of our biggest problems, and they're not overly dangerous necessarily, but they do cause a lot of discomfort.
It has an impact, quite a big impact. For pet owner and pet.
Absolutely. I mean, if any of you have ever had flea bite, you know all about it. They itch for weeks.
Little clump shotgun effect.
Yeah, exactly. So, and fleas can also, in flea dirt, there's a bacteria called Bartonella, which can also cause problems in people, actually, and can be quite difficult to diagnose as well. So that's a zoonotic or animal-related disease potential there as well.
New fear loading. No, the problem is with cats, you often can't read the signs because they're not like your dog. They're not going to run up and lick you in the face and tell you what's going on. They can be a little bit more aloof, let's say.
Yeah.
What are the signs that we need to be looking out for, the stuff that worries you that could fall into the early detection, or are some of these things going under the radar?
Yeah, it can be quite difficult. From the tick-borne disease thing, lethargy, decreased appetite, they're just less playful, they're quieter. So that's a bit of an alarm bell. Let us check that out. And then fleas, obviously over-grooming. You quite often don't even see fleas on a cat because they're very good at catching them and swallowing them, to be honest.
They're expert groomers. That's
yeah,
how they
exactly. So over-grooming, if your cat starts to look a little bit maybe a moth-eaten appearance on the back, a little bit less fur on, especially on the top line on the back. That'll often be a sign that they've got a flea problem.
Now, I heard on a documentary that cats can supplement up to 70% of their diet as the stuff they catch themselves if they do roam, and we think they're starving out there, or they'll give us that impression.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But that says to me that they are out there getting into spaces. They're engaging with their own version of the wild.
Yeah.
How do cats roam? What should we envision in our head when our cat is hopping out the window at night?
So it all depends. They're like little personalities, don't they? So some are homebodies and some will
some are looking for trouble.
Exactly, yeah. Studies have shown that on average they're about 40 or 50 meters from home, so that's not so far, but some will go up to 200-300 meters. And then we've all heard stories of somebody moving house and a cat traipsing back 3 or 4, 5 k's to the old home.
Even longer, I've heard.
Further,
I suppose they live in layers, and this is why they have such a superstitious kind of gravitas around them, because they have got sensory access that we just can't even access. They can move in ways that we just can't, but they are survivors. They are amazing at being able to get themselves out of tight situations that they get themselves into, but we have a role to play to protect them as much as we can, because we're forcing them into environments that aren't natural often. How do we protect preemptively? How do we protect our cats?
Yeah, so we've got some really good modern products these days that we rely heavily on, and the main thing to note is that they're long-acting. So we need to break the life cycle of these parasites, and so that is why it's crucial to use long-acting. Some of them last a month, some of them last even up to 3 months, depending on what you use. And just for an example, one female flea will lay between 20 and 50 eggs per day. Wow. And they lay them on the pet. So wherever a pet walks, the flea eggs are spread like that. So your garden may be flea-free for years, but it doesn't mean it stays like that.
Somebody else, overnight it can change.
Somebody else brings in some eggs overnight, and that egg will develop into a larva and a pupa, and then within a month you've got a new flea jumping on. So you're always a month behind the game. So you've got to keep up with long-acting.
I love that. But and in so doing, we turn the great disadvantage into an opportunity, because it's got such a short life cycle. If we match that life cycle and we counter that, get our own rhythm, we can push back. I hope a snake is the least exciting thing you treat today. I don't know how you ramp it up from a snake. I love the work that you guys are doing. Your organization really does keep the whole pet parent community propped up. So thank you so much. He's off to go train other vets now, to put it in perspective. But it's a village, and we've got to look after our pets as well. Many pet parents, I think, prefer an all-in-one monthly treatment like NEXGARD Combo. Brilliant. It protects against both external and internal parasites. It's beautifully balanced, and it really is easy to administer as well, which helps with cats, I think. So staying consistent becomes a lot simpler. So please jump on board. Make sure your cats, as adventurous or homebody as they are protected. Our cats may be small, but their curiosity, we know, is massive. And that's exactly why consistent parasite protection really does matter for them. And with the right monthly care in place, you can let them go and explore with confidence, knowing that they are safe and healthy. You might be feeling a little bit nervous. You're going to look for your cat right now. We'll be back with a different doctor after this.